Wow, Richard, you were early today. What are you doing on the board?
I just decided to write on the board. I won't miss anyone, and I decided that I'll be the first to come here today, so that I'll do the homework on the board before you come.
That's really impressive of you. I can see that you're beginning to develop your interest for maths. That's good. Keep up the good work. And you, Frank, won't you go to the board? First of all, if you're new to my channel, do this for me and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Meanwhile, all you have to do is stay till the end of this video because I have a lot of great things for you concerning simultaneous equation that you won't like to miss out. So remain till the end of this video as I will begin to commence in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
So to be honest with you, I didn't really understand some of your explanations. I went home and I watched the video over and over again, and I was still a little bit confused. I am sure that after you do some explanations for me right now, I will understand it better.
Okay, no problem. But have it in mind that this is not what we'll be treating today.
Yes, Frank. Where is it? Did he come today?
No, he didn't.
And Philip even told me that his maths teacher taught him how to solve simultaneous equation, and no matter how she taught him, that he didn't even understand it, and up to now he's not even here.
Am I late?
Almost. What kept you?
I was doing some work at home.
So Michael, time is fast spent already, and soon it will no longer be on our side.
You are very time conscious. That's very good of you. So let's all commence. Now it's very important that things such as this should be committed into the hands of God for perfect understanding. So why not you spare him some seconds of our time as you repeat this prayer after me. My mind is where I am. When I study, I must remember and understand. So help me God. As easy as that. So let's get into the main reason why we are here today, shall we? Welcome back to Home Online Maths Education. Today is a very great day and we are going to use this opportunity to explain back what we did last time, since Mr. Frank said he didn't understand some things concerning the division and the multiplication. So if you know you are in the same category with Frank, I would suggest that you try your very best to pay attention, since Richard already understands, but Frank really has some problems in understanding this particular math. So I'll really plead with you all that you try your very best to pay attention so that after now you get perfect with this. Now, this is what I left behind in the assignment. We can see on the board 8/9 divided by 3/21. Now, if you can remember what I said in my previous video concerning divisions of fractions, I told you that when a fraction like this is arranged, now take note, this is the left hand side. It's just like saying you look at the board this way, and now this is your right hand and this is your left hand. I hope you are getting what I am saying. So this is your left hand and this is your right hand. Now you have your fraction to be 8/9 divided by 3/21. Now, since you have a fraction like that, what you do next, take note, there is a division sign in between these two fractions. So what you do next now is, you have to turn upside down the fraction at the right. That is what you do. So this is the fraction on the right, 3/21 is the fraction on the right. So we are going to turn it upside down. Now, we will not just stop at turning it upside down. After turning it upside down, the sign itself changes. So that automatically means that what I'm saying, we'll be getting 8/9 times. Now we're putting these times here because we are going to turn this upside down. Now watch how it's going to look like. 21 over 3. This is how simple it is. I hope you understand, Frank. You don't just say 21 divided by 9. You will fail. You will fail. Well, why do I say you will fail? Reason because if you check your multiplication table properly, 9 cannot divide 21 and you expect to get a result that has no remainder. It's not possible. So, but in the sense, what I'm saying here now is, since you only use numbers below to divide the ones on top, or you use the one on top to divide the one below, in this case, since we have 9, we have 21. We all know that 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, and 9 times 3 is 27, which means it has already passed 21. So what I am saying in short is that if you want to break down this kind of fraction, what you do is you ask yourself the number that you use to divide the one below and divide the one on top, and you will not have any hookups anywhere. So I will say that the best number to use in this point is 3. So 3 can divide 9 and you will be getting a number without remainder, and you will still use 3 to divide 21. You will still get a number without remainder. So which means that 9 divided by 3 will be getting 3. So we are going to cancel it right away. We'll be getting 3 here. 3 times 3 is 9. So if we divide 9 by 3, we'll be getting 3. Now, 3 times 7 is 21. So if we divide 21 by 3, we'll be getting 7. In other words, what I'm saying is 21 divided by 3 is 7. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So that's just what I'm saying. Now, whenever you want to use the number below to divide the one on top, or you want to use the one on top to divide the one below, take note, because it might not just work the way you see it. It might not just work the way you see it. You have to be good with your multiplication table so that you don't make unnecessary mistakes. There's no how you expect 9 to divide 21, and then you begin to get, values that doesn't have remainder. No, it's not possible. You now have to think of a particular number that if you use to divide 9 and divide 21, you won't be getting any remainder, and that's what I've just done on the board. Now at this point, since we have 9 divided by 3, 3, and 21 divided by 3, 7, at this point, there is absolutely nothing that we can do. Now, take note, I used 3 to divide 9, and I also used 3 to divide 21. That's what I've been explaining to you since. So, since we have gotten to this point, that is just it. From the look of things, 3 cannot divide 7, because if 3 should divide 7, it's not saying we can't divide 7 though. If it divides it, there will be a remainder. And whenever we're solving fractions like this, you don't do that stuff. You have to divide and there is no remainder. Otherwise, you leave your answer that way. So at this point, we'll be doing 8 times 7 and we'll be getting 56. We'll be getting 56. Then 3 times 3, we'll be getting 9. So that is it for now on this particular one. Now let's move over to the next question. You can see here 5 over 3 times 27 over 3. Now, like Frank suggested before, normally whenever you have a fraction that involves multiplication and then you notice the figures are big, just like this now, 5 times 27, you'll be getting some huge values. If you don't take time, you might end up falling off balance because of the values you get. So what you do is you are going to use this 3 to divide 27. So 3 divide itself, first of all, is 1, and 3 divide 27 will be getting 9. That means 3 times 9 is 27. So from the scene of things, good, 3 can still divide 9. Now, please, it's very important that you are good with your multiplication table. If you know you are in primary class, please learn your multiplication table at least from 2 to 8 or 9. Then if you're in the JHS class, at least you should be able to know till 12. And then if you're in the SHS class, at least 15, maximum 20, and you are very good. So at this point, we are having 5 times 9, which will be giving us 45. Then 1 times 3. 1 times 3 will be giving us 3. So that is not all, because normally if we use 3 to divide 45, it will still go. You don't just leave your answer like that. I've said it severally that whenever you have finally gotten your answer, you have to check it if it can still be divisible. Although I might not go so thorough in this particular thing now, maybe in my next video I'll look for how to teach it and teach it to the very best understanding. But meanwhile, let me just see how I can explain this. If you catch up, that's very fine. So at this point, we are having 45 over 3. Now, you don't just submit your answer this way. You have to first of all check if this 3 that you have placed it, because the reason why I have to use 3 is because 3 is a prime number. 45, should I call it an odd number? So in short, 45 is not an even number. 3 is not an even number. So they don't fall in the same category. They are prime, either they are prime or they are odd. They sometimes match. So now 3 is a lesser number in this case. So since 3 is a less number, we are going to use 3 to divide itself. We'll be getting 1. So if we use 3 to divide 45, we'll be getting 15. So I guess this should be very good for you. I hope everybody understands. That's good. So now let's concentrate on the main reason why we came here today. Today, we'll be teaching simultaneous equation, and it's going to be from the very scratch. Okay, I'm sure you all enjoyed watching this very part of the video about the multiplication and the division of fractions. So we are going to be treating the main reason why we came here today so that we don't waste any further time. Now, as you can see, we have on the board simultaneous equation. In some textbooks, they will tell you simultaneous equation involving two variables, I guess. So, but whatsoever is the title of the textbook, that doesn't matter right now. So now there are 2 things I'll have to let you understand before I begin. One thing is this: anything multiplied by 1 is that thing. In other words, I am saying tripod times 1 is tripod. I don't know if you're getting me. Beans times 1 is beans. 100 times 1 is 100. 2000 times 1 is 2000. iPhone times 1 is iPhone. Now, another thing I need to make you understand is this: anything times 0 becomes 0. It's just like when someone is well accepted everywhere and then the person gets this very dangerous disease that everybody is afraid of. Before you know it, people begins to flee away from him. That's how 0 is. So 0 times anything becomes 0. 0 times house is 0. 0 times pen is 0. 0 times face is 0. 0 times anything whatsoever, mention it, is 0. I want you to have this mindset before we enter into solving this simultaneous equation. And now, take note, this simultaneous equation is going to be from the very scratch. So if you know that you're not with your pens and your books, please ensure that they are there with you right now. And please try to make sure that your phone is placed in a landscape mode, so that you place it probably on the TV, or maybe you place it on the stand and then you watch. It's very important that you place your full concentration here so that you don't miss out on all the great things that I have in this video. So meanwhile, as you are watching, do not forget to place your comments on what that might be your trouble while you're watching this video. So now, as you can see over here, we are having 2x minus y equal to 10. And then the next equation we are having is x plus 3y equal to 5. Now, there is another thing that you need to understand. When solving this, you will see me using certain terms like this. Using equation 1, substituting. I can decide to put in. It all means the same thing. Either I decide to use substituting or I use putting. Then you also see me using equation 1. It can as well be using equation 2. Now let's drive into the main thing without wasting any further time. Now, as you can see on the board, we have 2x minus y equal to 10, and then x plus 3y equal to 5. Now, that is how this simultaneous equation comes. It always have 2 variables involved. And what are those 2 variables? X and y. X is unknown, y is unknown. X is unknown in the first equation, and the y also is unknown in that same first equation. Now for the second equation, x also is unknown and y is unknown. There is a very beautiful method I'm going to show you right now on how to solve this simultaneous equation so you don't get lost. First of all, there is something I will have to let you know about simultaneous equation. There are two types of solving simultaneous equation, and those two types involve elimination method and substitution method. Today I will not be teaching on elimination method. I'll be going straight ahead to substitution method. So make sure that you pay your greatest attention in this video. Very, very important. Now as you can see, we have 2x minus y. 2x minus y equal to 10. And then the next equation is x plus 3y equal to 5. Now at this point, what we do next is we write using equation. Now it's left for you to decide the equation you want to use. Probably using equation 1 or maybe using equation 2. It's left for you. It's left for you. So that's just how it is. So I decide to use equation 1. So I'll write here using equation 1. Now take note, whenever you are solving simultaneous equation and you have a question arranged like this, I prefer that you use this to solve or you use this to solve if you want to be on the safe side. Either you use normally the 2x which I circled and the 3y which I circled, they are both known as coefficients. So coefficients are just numbers and unknown variables placed together. Now what are unknown variables? Unknown variables are simply alphabets. In maths, you don't call alphabets. It is known as alphabet in English, but in maths it is known as variables. Otherwise you can call it unknown variables, as the case may be. So in this case, since we have 2x and we have 3y, it is just known as unknown variable, or you can decide to call it a variable. It doesn't matter. Now, what I'm saying in short is, whenever you are given a question like this to handle, now the reason why I decided to write using equation 1 here now is because I am going to start with our equation 1. Just watch what I will do. And this is it here, 2x minus y equal to 10. Now what I have done is, I have started to use equation 1. Equation 1 is the one that I really decide to use. Now, take note. When I said using equation 1, what's the next thing I did? I wrote down the equation straight away. So I have that mindset. First of all, when you have the question given to you, you have two equations involved. Now, since you have two equations involved, the next thing that comes in mind is using equation dash. It's left for you to decide whether you want to use equation 1 or use equation 2. So no matter what the equation is, make sure that you use this or this. I will explain to you right now what I mean by using this or this. Now in maths, there is what we call change of subject. In this case, what I am saying here is we are going to make 2x the subject of the equation. What does that mean? It means that since we are making 2x the subject, after we finish writing 2x, the equal to sign remains in front of it. Now 2x is not the main thing. The main thing there is the x itself. I have to say 2x so that you have that mindset that the 2 stays with the x first of all, then you do the other necessary things so that x can stay alone. So since a question like this has been given, we have to use equation 1 first of all. Is that not it? Now, since we are using the first equation, which is 2x minus y equal to 10, then I told you that the next thing that should come in mind is making 2x the subject. You can't make y the subject. If you make y the subject, you might make some unnecessary mistakes. That's why I suggest that you use 2x. Probably if you decide to use equation 2, you will have to use 3y and not using x. If you use x, you'll be getting some mistakes that shouldn't come to be. So now, since we are using 2x, we'll just repeat it. Now we are going to make 2x the subject like I said previously. So 2x now equal to So I hope you can understand what I am doing now. Since you are making 2x the subject, the equal to sign stays in front of it. That mindset should never leave you. So 2x equal to 10. Now there's another thing that you need to be aware of. As you can see on the board, we have equal to sign. Now take equal to sign as a bridge. When you live in Nigeria and then when you travel to China, what do you experience? There is language barrier. You can't speak the Chinese language. But for those who already live in China, they know how to speak the language. That is how it is over here. Whenever a value is crossing the equal to sign, it changes to become either positive or negative. Now, as you can see, we have this 2x. The 2x has a positive sign in front of it. Whether you say the plus there or not, the positive sign is already there. So, in other words, what I'm saying is, if there is no sign in front of a variable, that means that that variable or that value itself is positive. So, but as you can see, in front of y, there is a negative sign. So, since y has a negative sign in front of it, it means that it is a negative value. Now, we can see over here, 2x is equal to 10. Some of you might be confused. How did I come up with the 10? It's just very simple. You might start asking yourself, what happened to the y? That's what I'll be explaining to you right now. So you can see over here, we have 10. So the main thing is you repeat it. Like I said, we are making 2x the subject. Now, making 2x the subject, it means that 2x has to stay alone. Now, the rest of the values stays at the other side. It's as easy as that. Which means as we are making 2x the subject, there is no reason why y should remain with 2x. It has to cross the equal to sign. And since 10 has already crossed the equal to sign, it remains that way. Then that means since negative y is negative y, for it to cross the equal to sign, it must become positive. So positive y. At this point, what we do next is we divide both sides by 2. Now, the reason why we are dividing both sides by 2 is very, very simple. Now, look at the reason here. We are dividing both sides by 2 because 2x is the same thing as 2 times x. Therefore, if you are finding an easy way to eliminate 2, the best thing to do in this case is to divide. Now, 2 plus x is the same thing as 2 plus x. There is nothing you can do in this case. That is just how it is. So when you have something like 2 plus x, what you do is you carry over. In short, what I am saying, since x is the subject, what you are carrying over now is 2. So 2 will have to cross the equal to sign. Please take note. 2 plus x and 2x are not the same thing. 2 plus x will give you 2 plus x. Then 2x will give you 2x. Or should I say 2 times x. In short, what I'm saying is 2 times x is 2x. And 2 plus x is 2 plus x. There is nothing confusing about it. Just have it in mind that whenever you are adding up a number with an unknown variable, hope you can remember what the variable is. In English, it is known as alphabet, but in maths, it's rather known as variable. So what I'm saying is when you are adding up a number and a variable, whatsoever you get, adding them up is the same thing that you're going to get as a result. Just like 2 plus x, for instance. 2 plus x will never ever give you 2x. Impossible. What I'm saying now is 2 plus x will rather give you 2 plus x. Then 2 times x will give you 2x. So all that I'm saying in general here is whenever you have something like 2 plus x and then you have your equal to sign in front of it and you want x to stay alone, have it in mind that you don't ever decide to divide by 2. No, completely wrong. It's banned in maths. You don't do that. Why? Because you're using 2 plus x. What you rather do is carry the 2 over the equal to sign, or maybe the less than sign, or maybe the greater than sign. But wherever you have 2 times x, which is rather 2x, what you do is you divide both sides by 2 so that x can stay alone. So please, if you think maybe I'm a little fast, you can try to rewind the video and listen to what I'm saying properly so that you assimilate all the information I'm passing across to you right now. Now let's continue with what we are doing on the board. As you can see, we are getting 2x equal to 10 plus y. 2 will divide itself once and divide itself once. So we're now getting here that our x is equal to 10 plus y divided by 2. That is what x is. So this is what we have gotten for x. Now let's move over to the next step. Previously, I told you using equation 1. Now we'll be moving to the next step. And then that next step is substituting. Now there is something I forgot to tell you. This is equation 3 now. Just like we have this equation 1 and this equation 2, this is equation 3. So now we are going to use the word substituting equation 3. Now I said substituting equation 3 into equation 1. Now, first of all, if you can remember, the first thing that we did previously was that we used equation 1, as you can see on the board, using equation 1. So you can't come back and start saying substituting equation 3 into equation 1. You begin to get 0 equal to 0. And that's some complete blunder in maths. It means you must have made a very terrible mistake in solving the simultaneous equation. So in short, what I am saying is, whenever you are solving the simultaneous equation and you use equation 1, when you are substituting, you must substitute into equation 2. If at the beginning you were using equation 2 and you are substituting, you must substitute into equation 1. Now please, if you think substituting is a very big grammar for you, you can use the word putting. So either you rather say putting or substituting, any one you use is correctly okay. So at this point, we are substituting equation 3 into equation 2. So what we are going to first of all do is to write out the equation 2. After writing out the equation 2, then whatsoever x is, wherever we see x in that equation 2, we will just replace this particular figure in it. Now, this is equation 2. X plus 3y equal to 5. Now we have gotten our equation 2. So what do we do? Like I said, we repeat this into equation 2. So which means we're getting here 10 plus y divided by 2 plus 3y equal to 5. Okay, now since we have represented our x right here in this equation, the next thing that we do is this. Now if you take a very good look at what we're having here, you can all see that we're having 10 plus y divided by 2, right? And then we can also see that 3y has nothing below it, and then 5 has nothing below it too. Now this is a kind of fraction setup. So in other words, it means that 3y is the same thing as 3y over 1, and 5 is the same thing as 5 over 1. So even if we leave it like this, you are still 100% correct. I want you to have that mindset whenever you get to this level. The next thing that should come into your mind is using 2. Now, I will explain to you what I mean by using 2. What I mean by using 2 is this. I'm sure you can click the video over here or here that explains how to solve for LCM. So check out the video and improve yourself. At this point, we are having 2. So what we are doing now is we are going to look for LCM. Now, since we are looking for LCM, what we do next is we are going to use 2 as our LCM. So we'll come over here, 2. Now you are going to put these things in brackets. So 2, 10 plus y divided by 2 plus 2, 3y equal to 2, 5. Now this is not all. When you get to this level, you use these 2 to divide these 2. Now, if you can remember what I said before, so when you see something like that, you just divide. Now, let me give you an instance. Something like 3 times 6 divided by 15 times 6 divided by 3. Now, you can decide to divide 3 by itself 1 and divide 15 by 3, and you know we'll surely get 5. So that's the same thing we're doing here. The only difference is that there is a bracket involved and there's no bracket in this. So 2 will divide itself once and do the same to this once. Now that automatically means that these ones remains the same. So at this point, we are going to be multiplying the numbers. So we're getting now 10 plus y plus 2 times 3y, we'll be getting 6y equal to 10. Now at this point, what we do next is we group like terms. In maths, there's what we call grouping of like terms. Some use collection of like terms. Okay, let me use grouping of like terms. We group like terms. Now at this point, grouping like terms means that you take the boys to the boys' campus or to the boys' camp, and then you take the girls to the girls' camp. They don't mix together. As you can see over here, we are having 10 plus y plus 6y equal to 10. It's just like saying banana plus mango plus banana equal to mango. That's just how it is. For sure, mainly looking at the mango and looking at banana, you know that they are two different fruits. So that's how it is over here. Now this y has an invisible one attached to it. Whether you believe it or not, any variable or any alphabet, whatsoever the case may be, any variable or any alphabet has 1 attached to it. So y now has 1 attached to it to make it 1y. So whether you decide to call it 1y or not, it has that significance that 1 is attached to it. So that means that 1y plus 6y will be getting 7y. So 7y equal to 10. Now we shouldn't forget that there is a 10 over here. Like I said before, grouping like terms. If you can remember what I said that grouping like terms is taking the boys to one side and taking the girls to one side, which is what we are doing. We are grouping the girls to one side and grouping the boys to the other side. So since 10 are part of the boys, this 10 too must cross. Now do not forget, this 10 has a positive sign. Since there is no sign in front of it, it is a positive number. So for it to cross this equal to sign, it becomes negative 10. For sure, we all know that 3 minus 3 is complete 0. It's just like I used previously. When you drop 10 apples and someone comes and take the 10 apples, what is left? There is nothing left. So that's how it is over here. So we're now getting 7y equal to 0. Now at this point, we divide both sides by 7. Y is equal to 0. You can punch it out on your calculator. Now have this mindset in mind that 0 divided by any number is a complete 0. So now we are not done. We have only found for y. I'm sure it's stressful, right? So, but meanwhile, like they always say, practice makes perfect. If you think that you want to stand out unique in your class and do better than others, I'll really suggest to you that you try your hands on these questions. You don't just stop at watching this video, or maybe when you click on it, you don't watch it till the very end. I really bet you, all those who are watching this video right now, I am very sure, I am 100% sure that after watching this video, you will be so glad and proud of yourself how you'll be good with simultaneous equation. So, and I want to use this opportunity to say that you should keep it up and say a very big thank you that you keep watching this video so that you don't miss out on any content. So let's keep on till we get to the end. Now at this point, you have gotten only y. It's still left with x to solve. So to cut the story short, to find x is not hard. The only thing that you should have in mind is that we are now going to substitute y in any of the equations. We can decide to substitute y into equation 3. We can decide to substitute y into equation 1. You can decide to put y into equation 2. Any of the equations that you decide to put y, everything will work perfectly. So we are going to put y, which is equal to 0, into equation 2. So our equation 2 is x plus 3y equal to 5. Now take note, wherever we see y, that's where we'll place the value we got, and our value was 0, so we'll place 0 over there. So now our x is just there, x plus, now we shouldn't forget 3 times 0. Now for those who doesn't know, this bracket that I placed over here shouldn't be a confusing thing for you. Bracket is the same thing as multiplication. In maths, whenever you have coefficients like this, and then you are now ready to place in the value you got for the variable, you don't just say 3 times, you rather say 3 and then you open your bracket and place your value in there. It makes the maths look outstanding from your mates. So at this point, since we have our y to be 0, then we'll come over here equal to 5. So x now plus 3. So x now plus 0. So right now we're getting x plus 0. So we have 3 times 0, we're having 0, now equal to 5. For sure we know that x plus 0 is 5. For sure we know that x plus 0 is x. So if you say x equal to 5, you are absolutely correct. Now, I really intended adding up these other questions in this video, but from the scene of things, this math has really taken so much time. I would really suggest that probably in my next video I will continue. But meanwhile, this particular question that I have circled, I will really urge you all that you try your hands on that particular question. In case you can't see it very well, I would suggest that you go to Play Store and you download Play It. It's an application where if you are watching a video and there is something that looks really tiny, you can zoom it. So meanwhile, if it is visible for you, thank God. But I'll still go ahead and call out the thing that is on the board. So now listen, we have, please make sure that you are writing negative 2x plus 3y equal to 19, equation 1. Now equation 2, 2x plus y equal to 1, equation 2. So this is all for today. If you know that you really enjoyed watching this video and you will maybe improve one way or the other by watching this, please be sure to comment below. Comment how you feel after watching this particular video. Please do not forget to smash that like button. When you do that, it motivates me to keep doing greater things than this particular video that I have released today. Meanwhile, every Saturday I host this maths quiz every evening by 8 o'clock. For those who are in Togo and in Ghana, but in Nigeria 9 o'clock. So, but meanwhile, this is all the programs. You can just follow me up on Facebook, Instagram, Quora, and then in case you need the link to join in the WhatsApp group, you can just check that in the description box below. You will see the link to join. And then this is all for today. Please, I'm really sweating, huh? I'm sweating so bad. Before you leave this video, be sure to do this for me. When you do this, you motivate me. I'm shedding tears right now. I don't want to cry again. I don't want to cry again. Please, just do it for me. Don't stop at just clicking that. You'll hit the notification bell. I hope that those watching this video really get what I am saying right now. So, but meanwhile, I only treated one question on simultaneous equation, and I intend to treat the other questions on my next video. So thank you all for watching. To cut the whole story short on simultaneous equation, first thing you must have in mind when a question is given to you concerning simultaneous equation is you decide the equation you want to use, then you write below the two equations using equation 1. You can decide to write using equation 2. Next step is substituting whatsoever you get as your variable. You substitute it in the next equation. In the next equation, meaning you don't substitute in equation 2 if that was what you used previously. So if you used equation 1, you are substituting in equation 2. Now, the third step is you group like terms, and then after grouping like terms, whatsoever you get, assuming you happen to get x first, then you substitute your x, or you put your x in any of the three equations, and then you get your y. This is all for today. Please remain safe. It's very, very important. This is coronavirus season. Remain safe, remain strong. Till next time, we shall meet again.